Hey y'all, it went down today in court, man. Straight drop in a lot of trouble. You hear me? So I know a lot of people probably don't know, or a lot of people probably didn't see it. So we finna go ahead and watch this verdict together. So let's get right into it.
We have a verdict to the members of the public. If you don't think you're going to be able to not show any emotion during the reading of this verdict, I ask you to remove yourself now. There won't be, the court won't tolerate any outburst of any sort from anyone.
Damn. You talking about no outbursts, girl? This the easiest case you had. This case was easy as hell. Poop man, poop man, dun-dun-dun-dun-dun-dun. Poop man, goddammit. Ooh wee, shit face.
Ready, Your Honor?
Yes.
Jury's now entering into the courtroom.
All rise, looking ass, boy. What the hell going on? Hope y'all got y'all cups, man.
Ladies and gentlemen of the jury, have you reached a verdict?
You have, Your Honor.
Four person? If you would stand and read your verdict, please.
We, the jury, find the defendant guilty of conspiracy to commit first-degree murder as charged in count 1 of the indictment.
Damn.
We, the jury, find the defendant guilty of first-degree murder as charged in count 2 of the indictment.
Damn.
And we, the jury, find the defendant guilty of convicted felon in possession of a firearm as charged in count 3 of the indictment.
Ooh wee.
Thank you. Juror number 1, is that your verdict? Juror number 34, is that your verdict?
Yes.
Juror number 35, is that your verdict?
Yes.
Juror number 11, is that your verdict?
Yes.
Juror number 14, is that your verdict?
Yes, ma'am.
Juror number 17, is that your verdict?
Yes, ma'am.
Juror number 27, is that your verdict?
It is, Your Honor.
Juror number 33, is that your verdict?
Yes.
Juror number 25, is that your verdict?
Yes.
Juror number 44, is that your verdict?
Yes.
Juror number 23, is that your verdict?
Yes, ma'am.
Juror number 28, is that your verdict?
Yes, ma'am.
Thank you. Ladies and gentlemen, I want to thank you again for your time and attention to this matter this week. Our system of self-government would not work without your service and sacrifice that you've made. Thanks again for your time and attention. You are excused.
Jury's excused.
All rise, looking ass. What you doing all that for? you know it's coming up, nigga.
The jury having found you guilty of conspiracy to commit first-degree murder, and convicted felon in possession of a firearm. As the 13th juror, I affirm this verdict. As to the first-degree murder, I sentence you to life in prison.
Damn.
I will set punishment
Life.
for conspiracy and the convicted felon in possession of a firearm after a sentencing hearing. The date for that hearing will be
Hold on. Hold on, wait a minute. Wait a damn minute. Now I ain't gonna even lie to y'all. You tell me I got life? I ain't coming back in that motherfucker for no Y'all want to give me more time? Damn. Then this nigga made a post talking about he ain't dropped the cheese and he ain't eat the cheese and all this and that. Nigga, you should have. They all flipped and turned on you. At this point, shit, it looked like Jug turned on you. Govan turned on you. Cornelius turned on you. Your brother turned on you. Young Dolph cousin with the car turned on you. Your cousin turned on you. Your baby mama turned on you. Your mama had to tell them, yeah, he called my phone at that time. Your mama turned on. God damn. 10 witnesses, everybody against straight drop. Everybody hates straight drop. I guess he ain't run Memphis like I thought he did. Shit, they were telling me though. They say shit, but drop. He said drop run Memphis. Motherfucker eating shrimp, steak, all that. But damn, life. Don't put out no music from that motherfucker, man. I don't want to hear. I don't want to hear you rapping. Don't drop no music from jail. Please don't do that. Nigga can't rap. And it's a rap. Life. Plus more. He got to come back and get more time. You better not cry. You bet you a gangster. Remember that.
November 1st?
Yes, Your Honor.
November 1st. There's nothing else to take up?
We will prepare the judgment sheet and pass that forward, Judge.
Thank you. And the pre-sentence report. The order for the pre-sentence report.
Sir, we'll give that. We'll give those to you.
Thank you. You may adjourn court.
All rise.
Man, that's crazy. Well, y'all can learn a lot. Let's take a look at Poop, man. You know what I'm saying? Man, I had diarrhea for like 4-5 days straight. Pooting there, well, stinking up the courtroom, looking at all these people trick on them and tell on them. People that really ain't had to say nothing, they in there telling on them, tricking on them. You know what I'm saying? Whole time we thinking his brother the biggest snitch from the beginning because he been saying my brother shot Dolph. Cornelius coming there, throw the icing on the cake. You hear me? Like, come on, bro. Like, drop lawyers should have told him, like, listen, everybody's flipping on you. They're all tricking on you. Everybody telling on you, but you got to do something to help yourself. He didn't make the right decision to help himself, so they let him sink. You ain't not supposed to trust no lawyer with no bad haircut anyway, man. I keep telling y'all, man, stay off the back of that cereal box. You hear me? But let's go to here right here. So these was the closing arguments of the state. So this finna show y'all how we got to that guilty verdict. And I'm gonna let y'all hear what Drop Lawyer was saying, and we gonna have a ball with that.
That it's hard to keep a secret. It's hard to hide who you're talking to. It's harder to hide your actions. And it's even harder to hide who you know. But ladies and gentlemen, despite all of those things that have changed, one thing has not changed, and that is the state's burden. The state's burden of proof is beyond a reasonable doubt. So what does that mean? Where are we? So the defendant, Justin Johnson, is charged with 3 counts. Conspiracy to commit first-degree murder, and convicted felon in possession of a firearm. So I know that you've already gone through a little bit of this law during voir dire, and especially through the jury instructions. But a brief overview of conspiracy to commit first-degree murder is that 1, this defendant entered into an agreement with 1 or more people to commit first-degree murder. 2, each of the parties to the conspiracy had the intent to commit the first-degree murder. 3, each party acted for the purpose of promoting or facilitating the first-degree murder. And 4, 1 or more of the parties committed an overt act to help the crime happen. So what did we hear this week? This week we heard testimony from co-defendant Cornelius Smith. He testified for us and he told us that he met Justin Johnson through Hernandez Govan, and that he knew Justin was a rapper, and he was also known by the name of Straight Drop. So Smith had known the defendant.
Hey, and did y'all peep how even though Cornelius was triggering on Straight Drop, he was trying to disassociate himself, but still put himself with him? Like, shit, I was in this video. On some 6ix9ine saying stuff you ain't even got to say. I was in this video. I had a mask on, though. But then, when they asked him, you know what I'm saying, how you met? Oh, I met him through Govan. Yeah, Govan. Quack. They call him Quack. But, yeah, I was it. Nigga, no, you been new drop, nigga. Nigga be in that line and telling the truth at the same time. I see why they say, you give a nigga enough rope, let him hang himself, he'll tell on himself. Because this nigga was lying and telling the truth at the same time. I ain't gonna lie to y'all. Cornelius did a lot of snitching, but he was lying about a lot of stuff too.
The defendant for a couple of months, and they hung out a couple of times before the murder. He was able to identify defendant in open court, and during his testimony, Smith told us that on November 17th, 2021, he and the defendant knew that Big Jook had a $100,000 hit on Dolph's head. Cornelius said that he and Justin agreed to kill Dolph together, and both of them receiving $40,000 apiece. Not only did he tell us that, he told us that this plan had been in process for weeks, and that Justin knew about it. And there were conversations previously or prior to this murder, and Justin Johnson was an active participant in those agreements. So there we have it. A conspiracy to commit first-degree murder. An agreement was made. Each of the parties had the intent to commit the first-degree murder. Each person acted for the purposes of promoting, facilitating, and, ladies and gentlemen, the overt act is the killing. Next, first-degree murder. In essence, a first-degree murder is a premeditated killing of another. What's required for first-degree murder is, one, that the defendant unlawfully killed the victim. The only way to lawfully kill someone is if you are in protection of yourself or others. Second, you have to prove that this defendant acted intentionally. Intentionally means that there was no mistake, there was no accident. Third, you have to prove that the killing was premeditated. And as we saw, or as we learned in Gore Dyer last week, premeditation does not mean that you had to have this plan for months, weeks, or days in advance. It could just mean that you simply stepped out of your car. You held up your hand, you pointed a gun, and you shot and killed somebody. As long as you had a moment to think about what you were doing, that's premeditation. Next. So we heard from a couple of people this week. First, we heard from the victim's sister, Erica Thornton. She testified that the victim was a living person. He had a family, he had children. She's known him her entire life. She attended and planned his funeral service. And coupled with that, defense counsel and the prosecution agreed to a stipulation, which just means that they agreed to establish that this victim was a living person who is now deceased. Later on, we heard from Dr. Scantleberry. She was the medical examiner and performed the autopsy. She found that there was a total of 22 gunshot entry wounds, including gunshots to the back torso, front torso, head, neck, upper extremities, and vital organs. She also testified that on the property that was collected from the victim, there was no weapon. And we also heard from Raul Hawkins. He testified that he was head of Dolph Security for years. He was able to identify Dolph's car in the beginning of the Makitas video, and he was also able to explain the difference between CMG and PRE, their history of conflict, rivalry, distrust.
Now hold up. I had to pull my drink up. But I heard something, though. Where the hell was you, Raul? Should have been there. It was Dolph Demon. Demon had a handgun on him, and he went to the car and got the chop. You feel me? Raul, your ass wasn't even there. They talking about, yeah, we had Raul identify the car. Ain't nobody need no damn Raul to identify the car, nigga. Nigga, we all know Dolph cars. Nigga, I could have been. Hey, but what Buddha doing in the courtroom? I'm here to tell them that is Dolph car. Y'all really needed somebody for that? Come on, man. This is crazy, man. Like, what are we doing here, man? Come on, man.
And even prior acts of violence that were towards Dolph.
They hate straight drop, though. I ain't gonna lie.
All of this testimony, we've established that there was a killing and that the victim was Adolph Thornton Jr. But was that killing unlawful?
Hey, cause look, I ain't gonna even lie. Anytime you get more time than the person that actually killed the person, they don't like you. They don't like you. They don't like straight drop. They whole angle from the beginning. Once they start figuring out everybody else, because I'm going to give y'all the breakdown of how straight drop really got caught. But once they found out it was him, they ain't even get to him fleeing. We ain't hear nothing about straight drop going on a run to Indiana. We ain't hear how they went to Texas and chased him to Texas, chased him from out of Texas, then he went to Indiana. We ain't hear nothing about that. What happened to all that? What happened to that? Who was helping straight drop in Texas? Who was helping straight drop in Indiana? What happened to all that? They ain't say nothing about it. See what I'm saying? I know.
Killing premeditated.
They hate him, though.
And
that's why he got it the worst.
Back to Cornelius Smith. In addition to testifying about the agreement that he and the defendant entered into, he also testified about the killing. He said that on the day of the murder, the defendant picked him up from his father's house. They both knew that the victim was doing a turkey drive with several of his PRE artists. They also knew that Big Jook had a hit out on all of the PRE artists. So it was their job that week to find them. And on November 17th, 2021, Cornelius Smith and Justin Johnson were on their way to a turkey drive in Westwood. As they were about to turn the corner, they saw a familiar car cross the intersection, which happened to be Dolph's car. Cornelius tells us that they followed the car, made a loop onto a back street, and then entered the Makita's parking lot. And this happened, I want to say, about 30 seconds after Dolph and his brother arrived at Makita's. Cornelius Smith was able to point out himself in that video and the defendant in that video. And he said that both of them were the shooting suspects in that video.
You know what? That's something else crazy I just thought about. And he ain't even used Dolph's brother as a witness. Like, you know they hate you when the other person that y'all shot at could have been in court saying, at least I seen the white car, but I ain't know who they was, yada, yada, yada. He didn't even come in there. That's how much they hate straight drop. And knew they had that. They do not like that guy.
Second suspect that got in the car.
Memphis been hating him since
hoodie,
Mason was doing first 48. I swear to God, I'm telling y'all.
The same clothing that defendant Justin Johnson was seen in as he was exiting his apartments at the Crosstown Concourse.
I got so much stuff to tell y'all. Y'all gonna be like, what?
Cornelius Smith testified that
crazy.
They got into the white Mercedes that they committed the act in. They went to Bradley Street. The defendant parked the white Mercedes on the yard, and they both got into a white Ford Expedition. They both got into that Expedition, and on the way, a couple of calls were made, right? Cornelius tells us that a FaceTime call was made to Big Joe. In that FaceTime call between Big Joe and our defendant spelled out the word Dolph. And as they were on their way to the Gospel Gardens apartment, the defendant also contacted a few other people who we'll find out later on.
Thirsty as hell.
So once the defendant and Cornelius Johnson arrive at Gospel Gardens, they receive wound care. They change their clothes, and then they go their separate ways. After they go their separate ways, Cornelius Smith tells us that he went to retrieve his phone, and he went to go wipe down the car, the white Mercedes that was parked at Bradley. So with Cornelius Smith's testimony, we have established that the killing was unlawful. There was no evidence to show that this defendant was in fear, was protecting himself, or was protecting someone else. We also established that it was intentional. It's not an accident. You didn't mistakenly follow someone's car into Makita's park.
And another thing too, they really tried to make it seem like Jamarcus Johnson played a big part. Bruh, he ain't do shit. Like, bruh, the man just gave him a phone and a car or whatever and told him to put some stuff on social media or whatever. But he ain't really do nothing either, man. All these masterminds and super criminals, and man, we gonna start luring tears around here. Cause another thing I just realized, Hernandez Govan ain't do a goddamn thing. He didn't do nothing, nigga. I'm talking about nothing, nigga. Wait till I break it all down for y'all though. But we gonna get back to this, but I'm gonna break it all down what everybody did and everything. Govan ain't do a goddamn thing. He didn't do nothing. Look, Govan's so stupid. The car is across the street from your house, and you steady telling Dumb and Dumber to get rid of the car, and Dumb and Dumber telling you they gonna get rid of the car, and they push the car from the damn sidewalk to the goddamn back of the house. How the fuck is you the mastermind? All you niggas stupid. Bro, that one car took everybody down. Everybody really failed because of the car. I don't know if y'all realize that, but the car is what gave everybody up. The car is what gave everything away. If they would have torched that car, they got away with it.
Parking lot and then shoot them. We also established that it was premeditated. They knew about this hit beforehand, and they committed this hit. So if that wasn't enough for you, we heard from some other people. We heard from Kirsten Gardner. He testified that he was present during the time that the defendant was able to get possession of the white Mercedes that the act was committed in. Kirsten Gardner was at the Valero gas station in the early hours of November 17th, 2021. Next, well actually, let me go back to Kirsten Gardner. After he testified that, he told us that he didn't know anything about what was happening the next day, or a few hours after the cars were switched. Similarly, Jamarcus Johnson didn't know anything either. He just knew that he needed a ride. And his brother, Justin Johnson, could provide that for him. So he got his car, the rental car, and he took his cell phone, he fielded his calls, posted on his social media, and checked his emails.
And another thing too, ain't it crazy how majority of the people that testified against Straight Drop got cases? You see what I'm saying? Like, hey, like nigga, you looking at 6 months. What you know about this Dolph? oh man, he in the car, he ain't in the car. I was at the gas station, but I wasn't really at the gas station. That was me in the car. I don't know what he did. I don't know what he do for work. I don't know. He gave me his phone, but he didn't give me his phone. I mean, low talking that street fake at trying to act like they ain't really saying nothing but telling everything so they can go back to the block and be like, I ain't say nothing. But whole time they got cases for other stuff. So that's how a lot of them got involved in this stuff too, because they already had cases. Some of them was already in jail.
After Jamarcus Johnson, we heard from Sergeant Dabney. He was able to tell us about the 4 different bullet casings that were present at the murder scene. .40 caliber, attributable to a handgun. .762, attributable to an assault rifle that Cornelius Smith had. .223, attributable.
Hey, y'all see what they say? They made a whole PowerPoint for this nigga straight drop. You see what it say at the top? If that wasn't enough. If that wasn't enough. Damn. How much more did y'all need? The nigga with the cut. Let him live. Damn. Let straight drop live, man. God damn, boy, they do not like straight drop. They hate him. I ain't never seen prosecutors. The whole, you know what I'm saying? Memphis, they can't stand this nigga.
To a semi-automatic that Marcus Thornton probably would have had, and a 9mm found, or 9mm casings found inside the store, which could be attributable to the handgun that Marcus Thornton had inside the store. That first one, though, the .40 caliber attributable to a handgun, was in the hand of the suspect with the Bass Pro hat. So, Sergeant Dabney also recovered the surveillance footage from Nikita's.
Drink hit. Make sure y'all get y'all drink, man.
This suspect in the same clothing that the defendant was in as he was leaving his apartment.
Gotta have a red cup.
At 10:49 a.m. that morning. The timestamps on Gospel Garden and Nikita's coincide with the times defendant's phone accessed those towers. We heard from Special Agent Garner, who summarized that the defendant's phone accessed a tower that provided coverage to the Valero gas station at 3:17 a.m. Around the same time, the kissing Gardner said that he saw the defendant take possession of that white Mercedes at the Valero gas station. The defendant's phone also accessed towers that provided coverage for the area of 2370 Airways Boulevard, which is our murder scene. And it accessed those towers during the times of the murder, 12:22 p.m. to 12:23 p.m. on November 17th. Officer Garner also explained that the defendant's phone accessed a tower in the area of the 2-lane road and Shelby Drive from 1 p.m. to 1:59 p.m., which is the direct correlation to the surveillance footage of Gospel Gardens and the footage that Officer or Sergeant Dabney identified the defendant being present for. So next.
I ain't never seen a nigga get a PowerPoint, bro. Like, how the fuck?
We heard testimony from
Damn.
Sergeant Browning. Sergeant Browning said that this defendant's device.
Hey, yo, Gotti, I ain't gonna even lie, bro. Angela got an uncle that's over there in Bali, right? You need one of them motherfucking tickets, cuz. Nigga. You're dead. But they need the number 1 from CMG. They talked about the number 2 a lot, but they brought you up too. But nigga. Gotti. Get ready to spend some money, Gotti. That's all I can tell you. You see, Diddy tried to put up 50 million, Gotti, and they told him no. You might need that Bally ticket, my brother. Straight up.
Placed an outgoing call to Anthony Mims at 12:25:40 p.m. on November 17, 2021. Not only did he place an outgoing call to Big Jook, he also received a text from Akiana Hooper, who is his cousin. She texted him an address of 4750.
Goddamn bop. I told y'all the bop was involved. Somewhere. Straight drop cuz bopping all through the parking lot and shit. We see them pull up. She getting her bop on and shit. But she went in court. She ain't get charged with nothing. And you think 2 motherfuckers that's coming in her house shot after she knew Dolph just got killed and they all shot up and all this and that. She allowed them to change clothes, probably made them some steak tacos and shit. Nah, what they be eating them in barbecue, probably made them some barbecue and shit. Probably gave them some brisket and shit. Then they look, you know what I'm saying? When they walked up in there, they looked at real malnourished, didn't they? But then after they got up and up, boy, they came out looking clean in the mother, boy. They came out spiffy in the bitch. You know what I'm saying? That's helping, bro. And see, I understand why we was promised 1 million arrests. It's still certain people, you can look at this case and be like, no, you need to go to jail too. But they ain't do that. That's how bad they hated straight drop.
52 Haven Court. After he received that address, he then sent that address to an associate named Jermaine Sears. Jermaine Sears, or defendant's device, sends the outgoing text to Jermaine Sears that he needs him. And you'll see in the surveillance footage of him.
And that's what I found out today. Jermaine Sears was the one that had pulled up in that black Charger to the straight drop cousin crib.
Haven Court on that day, at that time, a car that is associated with Jermaine Sears.
They had everybody, man.
Shortly after the defendant arrives in a white Ford Expedition. So
Cornelius' girl came to get him in a water book. Boy, that car was little as hell, boy. That shit look like a Hot Wheel, you hear me?
The defendant was a convicted felon or convicted of a specified felony. And 2, after being convicted of a felony, this defendant possessed a firearm. And 3, this defendant acted intentionally, knowingly, or recklessly.
This shit was dumb, fuck.
So the facts that we have for this charge. Well, 1, there was a stipulation or an agreement. The parties have stipulated that defendant Justin Johnson was convicted of a felony on May 2nd, 2017 in Criminal Court 8 in Shelby County, Tennessee. Next, we heard testimony from Cornelius Smith, who verified that the person in that Bass Pro hat was Justin Johnson. And that person held a gun. So
Come on, man. Hey, let straight drop live, man. Damn, I'm damn near feeling bad for straight drop. I ain't gonna lie. I kind of feel bad for him. God dang.
Let's just
Can't rap. Everybody told on you.
Reasonable
God
doubt.
damn.
It is not 100% certainty. It is not beyond a shadow of a doubt.
Man, I gotta pull back up, man. This shit's sad, man.
What's required is moral certainty. Certainty that allows you to sleep well at night. Will you be able to rest easy knowing the decision that you've made? My instinct says yes. And once you've had time to deliberate, I think yours will too. So that brings us to the end. The state has met its burden of proof beyond a reasonable doubt. You have all the evidence, all of the testimony, all of the stipulations, all of the videos, all the photographs. And now it's time for you to consider that evidence and apply your common sense. And after you do that, I think, well actually, I expect that you will find this defendant guilty on all charges. Thank you.
Hold up.
Thank you, Judge.
Hold up. Shorty told they ass to apply their common sense. Damn. Hey, man. Hey. If we had all these people in the YSL trial, that shit would have been over with. You know what I'm saying? This ain't that YSL, okay? Then we get straight to the point around this motherfucker. Use y'all common sense and do what y'all need to do. Like, what the fuck? This shit wild, bro. Now we gonna hear from straight drop trash, doodle ass little, straight doodle. What you got to say, sir?
It's good to see y'all again.
We don't want to see you, sir. It is good to see you, sir. The fuck? You trash, man.
All of your faces. I know that's something you're looking forward to, and that's okay. I know
It
that
ain't
you all
okay.
look
Your
back in
client just
life,
got life, nigga.
And I can tell you on behalf of Mr. Johnson that your attention during this trial is greatly appreciated. What you've had to set aside in order to
Hey, I've been
provide
losing
this
a lot of
service,
sleep because this shit. You ain't
I
never lied.
have no doubt that the court and Mr. Hagerman, Ms. Iris, all of us agree that you're indebted to you for that. Because like I said in opening, this is important. And you're about to have to roll up your sleeves and go to work.
Okay, we finna go to work then. I wanna hear,
And it's gonna
I
be a
wanna hear
difficult
this
job.
shit. Let me roll my sleeve up. This nigga
This
talking
young
that.
man's
What you
fate
talking about?
is in your hands.
Your client life was in
The concept of justice, right?
his
We
ass
talked
got
about
cooked.
that in Fort Dyer. We talked about that again in opening, right? And it's in your hands. Meting out justice. And it's difficult because what you've heard is the tragedy of someone losing their life.
Hey, I swear the judge back there looking like, man, this shit ain't gonna work. The judge like, man, this shit ain't gonna work. Trying to butter motherfuckers up. And then, yeah, like I said in the beginning, nigga, don't nobody care about the beginning. What about now? Oh my God.
Of their family members not having that person in their life.
Luke,
And that
what they
is
call him,
terrible.
goddammit. Got
And
straight
the
drop
court will tell
life.
you, as terrible as that is, you can't consider that when you're determining guilt or innocence in this case. But it's heavy. Now, on the other hand, you have Mr. Johnson. This young man that you heard in the evidence is a young man, aspiring rapper. Wanted to make it as a rap artist. When you're going back through these exhibits, you're going to see a picture of him in front of the house on Bradley. You know, engaged in a music video, right, for his rap. Hat kicked to the side, kind of grin on his face, because that's what he wanted to do. And his fate is directly in your hands. And like we talked about, it's never justice to wrongfully convict someone. And so that determination that you're going to make, beyond a reasonable doubt, is the heaviest one. Maybe one of the heaviest decisions you'll ever make.
This man ain't said
And
shit.
you've had an opportunity to sit through the trial.
Trash, straight
hear the
doodle,
evidence,
toilet water.
observe the witnesses, and you've been told, keep an open mind. And I hope you have. And I'm sure you have.
Yeah, we got an open man, nigga.
And not to talk
That
about
straight
the
drop man open. He got a lot
You
of
know,
time
the
to
thing that
think,
you've been
nigga.
listening
Life.
to for days, with people all around you that have
Plus
gone through
more.
the same thing, and then you have to be around them even when you're not here, and you can't talk about the elephant in the room.
What the hell is
Today
the
that
elephant in the room?
changes. And not only are you allowed to talk about it, the judge has instructed you that you have to talk about it.
Fuck this.
And to engage in deliberation.
Stay off that cereal box.
To listen to one another, to review the evidence that you've heard, to talk about it, and render a decision. But to the degree you're working together, what you never have to do is abandon your conscience. Now, I don't mean conscience like Cornelius Smith and that conscience, right? Because I don't think he really meant that when you heard from him. He said, oh, the reason I decided to tell the truth is I got a conscience. And we all know that's not the type of thing you're dealing with. You take that more seriously. You mean it. He didn't. You've heard a lot of concepts, the terms of art and the law, the burden of proof, presumption of innocence. And when we started this, I told you, Mr. Johnson sits before you innocent. And I'm again telling you today, after the state has closed its proof, he remains that way.
They ain't feel that way, nigga. He gave his ass life. The fuck is you talking about? They thought he was guilty day one.
And he wasn't the man holding the pistol in the Makita video. And it's going to be up to you to decide that. To watch those videos. Watch them closely.
We did. It was his.
You want to talk about those videos, and I'm encouraging you to study them. Give them a close look. The state doesn't want to acknowledge what I told you in opening, and that is similar. It doesn't mean the same. Plenty of people have gray sweatpants, black shoes with white soles, black hoodies. And as we learned through the proof, in Memphis especially, and elsewhere, Bass Pro has. You can look at it, if we had a window, you could look at it and you could see the Bass Pro, which is the pyramid here.
And another thing about them Bass Pro hats. Y'all owe Buddy an apology. Cause hey, Buddy that came on AK Live when all this first happened had on the Bass Pro hat, the dude that was a rapper, y'all swear up and down that it was him, man. I hate that y'all blamed it on that brother, man. No, man, y'all owe him an apology. Now we gonna start giving out apologies, man. Y'all blame that man for no reason. Tagging the Memphis Police Department, tagging his name. Y'all tried to get an innocent man locked up. Y'all have to start taking credit for being wrong, bruh. Y'all blame that man. They don't say, boo, the Bass Pro hat. Ain't no motherfuckers was wearing Bass Pro hats in Memphis. We don't wear that shit up here. We wear no motherfuckers Bass Pro hat. And y'all tell me about the pyramid build. They say, Buddha, we got the biggest Bass Pro shop. Okay, well, anybody could have been wearing a damn hat. Why did y'all blame Buddy, though? Why did y'all blame him? Y'all wrong for that. You know what I'm saying? Apologize to that man. For real, for real. Y'all owe that man an apology.
You also heard testimony about it being a fad at that point in time. Famous rappers wearing it. Other famous artists. I think I mentioned Gwen Stefani wearing Bass Pro. One rapper has a signature Bass Pro hat. You heard from one of the detectives that they even interviewed someone.
This man tried to defend Straight Drop by saying even Gwen Stefani wore a Bass Pro hat. This shit is terrible, man. I feel so sorry for Drop. No good lawyer. Nobody had his back. Nobody was riding with him. What the? Oh my God, bro. They did him dirty.
Who gave them a potential suspect that wasn't Mr. Johnson and said that person always
He
wore
just
Bass
hit the
Pro.
Al Bundy and shit.
You have to consider that. And then you have Sergeant Dabney, who, for the first time, and I think he acknowledged this, sitting on the stand, says, I think those underwear are the same. They're both blue. You look at the underwear from Tulane Apartments, you look back at the Makita video, those are the same underwear.
Bro, they had his Straight Drop so much, they used his underwear for evidence, bro. Dude over here and the dude over there got the same blue underwear. Ain't that crazy? You motherfuckers hate Drop, boy. This shit crazy.
Look at it. Look at the steel shots. And for yourself, determine, can you tell if those are the same? And as jurors, you get to make that call. You get to look at it for yourself and compare those. We've heard a lot about it's not 1981 anymore.
Yeah, they hate 1981. What the fuck 1981 do to y'all? They kept saying it ain't 1981.
Yeah, we've got cameras.
It ain't 1981. Damn.
Well,
Okay.
also has advanced tremendously since 1981.
81 must have fucked them up.
Right? Fingerprints, DNA.
81 was
DNA.
beating they, getting their ass beaten 81.
And you have to ask yourself, why is Justin Johnson's DNA nowhere in that car? There's DNA in that car. You heard a lot about.
Ask
they
yourself
wiped
why
it.
he ain't
Cornelius
blow that
Smith
motherfucking
said he
car up.
wiped it. And you guys, we'll get to whether you believe that or not in a minute. Okay? But he says he wiped it. But he didn't. There's fingerprints on it. Kristen Garner's, Trayon Ingram's, and Cornelius Smith.
Damn.
There was DNA found. One of it coming back to Trayon Ingram, right? Not Justin Johnson. Now, there's a lot of talk about gloves, right? They made a big point to say, you see gloves in the video.
Nah. Remember I told y'all the other lawyer had told, which is straight drop lawyer too, he had told Kristen Gardner that Straight Drop was using a Mercedes to go see his baby mama. See what he's saying there? Straight Drop was never in the car. See what I'm saying? This shit, these motherfuckers, man, boy, woo. Your own lawyers, man. It be your own people.
They want you to believe
It be your own people, man.
And the reason that his prints aren't on it are because he's wearing gloves. And mind you, Cornelius Smith, when he said he wiped the car, never said he wiped the driver's side of the car. Okay? If you believe that.
Hell no. He ain't say he wiped the whole car.
Driving around this white Mercedes, including with his daughter. Look at those videos. You think he's not wearing gloves. And he's got a little girl in tow that would presumably be in that car with him. No DNA recovered. None. Now, during proof, it was interesting because they would show the Mercedes go into crosstown and the Mercedes leave crosstown, and they would show a video of Mr. Johnson getting out and walking in the building, or walking out of the building. There is no video that shows Mr. Johnson in that Mercedes. And you heard they had a reel, right? The video was a reel when they're doing crosstown, and when I asked it, I think it was Detective or Sergeant Dabney, about there was surely other cars going in and out at this very time. And he said, yeah. But you have to ask yourself, was Justin Johnson ever in that Mercedes? So let's go to Kristen Gardner. Kristen Gardner gets up here and tries to tell you that. He tries to say he didn't know the car was stolen, that Trayon was driving around in the car. And at first, he acts like, even under questioning from Mr. Hagerman, that he wasn't even present when the car was exchanged, because he tries to say, well, Trayon told me. And if you recall, Mr. Hagerman had to kind of go back at him, and I think he said something like, I can't tell you that, and then he eventually started answering some questions.
Told y'all his ass was up that
The same
line.
guy that went into law enforcement and said, I've never been in that car. I don't know a guy named Justin Johnson other than on Instagram. He's a rapper. And then
He ain't no rapper. His ass can't rap.
Evolving through the story. Still lying to law enforcement.
If you can't rap, you ain't a rapper.
He
You
even
just a
looked
nigga
at
that's
video
trying to
of
rap.
himself, right, pumping gas, and goes, "That's not me in the video." And he's like, "Okay, it's me." But they're trying to tell you Justin Johnson's at the Valero gas station, right? When he's pumping gas. Where is he? Now they want you to believe that this shadowy figure up in the right, top corner was Justin Johnson. And that he was the other passenger in the Infinity, but you can't really make out who he is.
But he said it was straight drop though.
You have to rely on Kristen Garner. That's what you have to rely on. And we talked a little bit about, proof beyond a reasonable doubt. I said one of the ways that you could use to kind of understand it is proof so convincing that you would not hesitate to rely upon it in making the most important decisions of your life. And it's really simple, right? You look there and you go, would I trust Kristen Gardner with anything? If he told me something, would I believe it? The answer is no. Because the more he talked, right?
But y'all, other lawyer that questioned him said that straight drop was in the
He
car.
and Trayon are in the Mercedes. They're driving around with a Draco rifle, assault rifle. The same one described as being held by Cornelius Smith in the shooting of Adolph Ford Jr. Their prints are in the car. He says they have, he said a ton of guns in that car. And then he starts talking about how he's related to Dolph, and they were trying to dump the car before, right? And he's reaching out to Dolph's people to try to get rid of a car, which is the reason why after this happened, immediately, day after, he's calling Trayon going, my name's in this. My name's in this. Why would his name be? And B, why couldn't he just say, I don't have anything to do with this?
All right, man. Look, we damn near hour in. I just wanted y'all to hear the stuff Straight Drop Lawyer was saying. It didn't help. His ass still got life. It didn't work. It didn't help him. Shit. Everybody turned on Straight Drop. I don't know when we gonna see Govan in court. I don't know when Cornelius got to come back to court. None of that. Because everybody turned on Straight Drop. Everybody cut side deals, all type of shit. So at the end of the day, though, did young Dolph really get justice? Because if Jook didn't get killed and Straight Drop just got life, that ain't really justice for Dolph. Because Cornelius is the one that really killed Dolph, bro. Govan ain't mastermind a damn thing. Jook just was offering money for any PRE member. Y'all get in the comment box, man. Let me know what y'all think, man. It's your boy Buddha. I'm out.